Okay, so I'm here to make a very brief video talking about the new Star Trek movie, Star Trek Beyond, which I saw a couple of weeks ago, and for me, it was basically a very underwhelming experience. So I just sort of put it out of my mind, and I haven't been paying attention that much about how well it's doing at the box office. I have been reading a lot of opinions, people that I know from the world of Star Trek, people I know from conventions and all that, and how they feel about the film. And a lot of them really like it. Some of my friends have seen it 2 and 3 times, so good for them. I'm glad they're enjoying it. But I found a headline, I think it must have been on Yahoo News, I'm not sure, last week, that was something like Star Trek Beyond is now officially designated as a failure. So this got me intrigued, and I started reading it. And I found there were several articles that had the same theme. But supposedly, Star Trek Beyond has already been projected as a failure because they think it's never going to make enough money to, um, well, break even, or at least what they consider breaking even in this day and age. Supposedly, the rule of thumb for modern cinema is that a film has to make twice its budget to break even. So the budget for Star Trek Beyond was an obscene $185 million. And that means to break even, it has to make around 370 million. Maybe it will, who knows? Um, Supposedly, the first week of release in the United States, and I think it opened in some other countries, or at least um, it has opened in some other countries, although there are still 21 countries it has not opened up in, and that includes China. But after the first week of release, it made around $60 million, which is what they were kind of expecting, although they would have been thrilled with a lot more. The bad news is that in the second week of release, the box office went down 60%. That is very bad news. So like I said, it has not yet opened in China, and they're hoping once the Chinese kick in with their big bucks that it may actually do pretty well. But these articles were very negative, and they were talking about the possibility of an end to the franchise and all that sort of thing. I don't know. Doesn't doesn't really bother me if they stop making these new films because I'm not that excited about them. But I guess these figures may not be completely up to date, but according to what I jotted down from Box Office Mojo, the film has made over $211 million worldwide. That's without the new 21 countries that it hasn't opened in yet. So it has shown a little bit of a profit, but I guess in this day and age, with everybody thinking about bigger bucks, it's not enough to be considered a success. So what the hell? My personal feeling about the film, um, well, I went in with not that high of expectations. I was prepared to be disappointed and hoping not to be disappointed. I thought it had a lot of good things in it. Whenever the camera would stop moving and stop spinning, I mean, it was spinning all the time. I'm so glad that I did not see this movie in IMAX and 3D. Thank God I did not do that. I was thinking about doing it, but it was bad enough in just standard. I thought that when the camera stopped spinning and we had interaction between the characters and conversation and a few quiet moments, I actually liked it. I like these new actors. I think they do a good job with the characters, and there were a lot of very poignant moments. Well, not a lot. I would say two or three poignant moments in the film where they gave us a very strong connection with the original series and the original series cast, and that was wonderful. I appreciated that. I think that they could have played on those moments a lot more and continued them and had a lot more quiet moments of interaction between the characters rather than all the action. I am not a fan of action films. I do not go to see films just for the special effects. I guess the word dazzling definitely comes into play here because I was certainly dazzled, but it was just too much. It was too many fights that went on too long, too many crashes, too many explosions, too much noise. I didn't like the music. It didn't seem like Star Trek to me. The only times when it did seem like I was watching Star Trek and I felt that sense of continuity were the times, as I mentioned, where it was just quiet and well, not necessarily quiet, but just uh, interaction between the characters. And I wish that they would make more films continuing with that, and they probably won't. So that's just the way it is. I'm definitely out of date for this new Star Trek franchise, the way it's being taken, and I just accept it. So that's that's my little critique. For what it's worth, Star Trek Beyond, I call it Star Trek Fast and Furious, directed by Justin Lin, who did the Fast and Furious films, none of which I've seen. And I'm sure that I won't because a lot of people have told me about them. I've read about them. I've read reviews online, and it's just not my style. I'm not going to go see those films. A lot of other people who are critical about this movie are calling it Fast and Furious in space, which is really kind of funny. And I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go from here. Maybe it won't go anywhere at all. But Star Trek Beyond, I guess it would make me happy if it made money. And if it would continue, because maybe the next film will be different. I don't know. So, what do you all think about Star Trek Beyond? Let me know.